Hey, there we go. My brothers, what you saying to me? Welcome, welcome, welcome. You already know what it is. I'm D. This the Future Fathers FF podcast. Yes, yes, yes. 1 second, 1 second. Need to set my thing up. Really? Okay. Okay. Bros, how you been? I hope work's been alright. I hope your week's been okay. I hope the missus alright. I hope the youths are okay. Hope you're alright. Yeah? Most of all, bros, most of all, I hope you ain't had to beat nobody this week. Yes, yes, yes. My brothers, last week I could have beat somebody. I tell you that much. I tell you that much. But I didn't. I didn't. I got through it. I'm good. I'm good. So, about today. About today. Um, you obviously can read, most of you. And if you can't, my brothers, I'd like to ask you a question. What do you think about when you're on your own? When you're by yourself? If you get the time to yourself, what do you sit down and think about? What are the things that cross your mind? You know, I feel it's a question that asking is a brilliant thing because I get to see what you guys are wondering. What's, as I said, what's crossing your mind? What do you think about? Me myself, I think about my children quite often, even though they're not small. Even though they're not small, I still think about them quite often, because I wonder about their well-being. I wonder about their mental health. I wonder just how work's going for them. These are the things that I think about. I know that if I'm thinking about these things, some of you man's thinking about the same thing. I also know that some of you definitely are not thinking about the same thing. There's other things that cross your mind. Me and you ain't the same. Me and you's completely different, bros. So what I think about is not always going to be the same things that you're thinking about. That's just how it goes. But if you're watching the live, jump in, leave a comment, let me know what things cross your mind, what things you think about, what things are troubling you. Yeah, because I don't want to say that worrying is not thinking about things, because you still are. Your brain's still active on something. The only difference is it may feel like to you it's something that warrants a little bit more attention. It might not necessarily warrant that attention, but sometimes you know what, we can't help what we feel about certain situations or circumstance that we may find ourselves in. I'm a gamer, yeah. If you didn't know, the gaming channel is Team DGD. Don't get dead. Yeah, tune in over there, watch the games, see me, the missus, and the boys play some game. We've been doing that for a little bit, for a little while as well. Get your words out, D. So I think about what games we're gonna play. It's been a week since the new Call of Duty dropped. Yeah, we've all been playing. We've all been playing. All of us in the house. We had a weekend where we kind of trained for the Easter egg, and I did my little research, and my son told me that he thought I was trying to get a doctorate in zombies, the amount of stuff that I wrote down. But you know what? I'm that kind of gamer. Yeah, I'm that kind of gamer. They're not. Mrs. jumped in and we completed the zombies Easter egg. Yay for us! Like, no, no, yeah, yes, 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 yes. Thank you very much. That is what we did. That is exactly what we did. We completed the Easter egg, and I found it brilliant because we all got to enjoy ourselves. Yeah. Not only that, it was dope because it's something that we haven't all got to sit down and do very often. So we got to sit down and jump into a game of zombies and kind of show each other how good we are. I've been playing zombies for years at this point. Yeah. And let's just say my first game on was absolutely dope. Since then, kind of, I can't say I fell off, not at all. I haven't fallen off. It's been different. So these are the things that I've been thinking about recently. Yeah, whether my sons are streaming because that's what they need to be doing. Yeah, one of them was supposed to do that. I don't know whether he did. I asked him. I inquired about whether he was going to do that or not, and he said to me he was gonna. I don't know whether he has done because that was this morning. I've spoken to him since I come in from work, which is the reason why I'm late today. We had I had to install a new router for my internet. Yes, it works. Obviously, I wouldn't be streaming live right now. I got to work out a few bugs, obviously, as you do with everything. But I've been thinking about that half the day as well, like whether my delivery coming. When it got here, I was like, okay, so when I get back, I know what I've got to do. I got to plan my evening, so to speak. So there's been a few things across the day that I've had to think about that my mind's run over. That has crossed my mind. That's just me, from moment to moment. These are the things that I've been thinking about. When it comes to issues now, that takes a little bit more time. That takes a little bit more thinking. I definitely do that. I have moments in the day where I think to myself, or should I say, I overthink about some things. I can definitely admit to that. I'm an overthinker on some subjects. Some people, my missus in particular, would probably tell you that I don't think about things enough. Well, that's your opinion. Yeah? I think about things as much as I feel like I need to. You might think about them differently, which is the difference between all of us. Yeah? What's important to you might not be important to me, and vice versa. But that's allowed. We're not the same. It would be horrible if we were all the same and we were not individuals. Well, of course, that's not going to be okay. So, these are the things that I think about. Not only that, as I said, I wonder about my children's well-being, my missus' well-being. Like, do you know what? If I was to sit here and list all the things that I think about throughout the day, yeah, let's go. Let's go. Think about my missus, my children, my job, how long I'm going to be at my job, what I'm going to be doing in a couple of years, what my sons are going to be doing, what my missus is going to be doing. Are we all going to still be in the same job? We're going to be at different jobs. How much I'm getting paid, what I'm going to spend my money on, how I'm going to spend my money, who I'm going to distribute my money to, how much money is coming back to me, uh, what I've got to do at work, how many people is in the building, what I don't like doing at work, what I enjoy doing at work, the people that I work with, the people that are staying in the building. Bro, there are so many different, and that's just like a minute. That's just like a minute. Like, and these are all the things that I think of. This is nothing to say about when I've got things that are important. Not to say that none of those things on that list are not important. These are just things that I'm listing off the top of my head. I'm talking about, okay, so I think about my granddad quite often as well. As you lot know, he's not very too well at the moment, yeah? So his well-being is up there. Why I didn't mention it, got no idea, yeah? But this is something that's quite important to me. That's probably why I didn't mention it, because I don't really like talking about it too often. But to put it into perspective, yeah, is something that I think about because I wonder to myself, and this is going to sound a bit morbid, but it's not supposed to be. How long has my man got left? What am I doing while he's here? What am I doing with him with the time that he's got left? What am I doing with myself? There's so many different things, so many. And it's brilliant because, as I've stated before, if you're not willing to question yourself, how well do you know what you're doing is working? You can't know. I say all of that to say questioning yourself is a brilliant thing. This is another one of the things that I think about. How I treat myself. how I treat the people around me, what I'm doing to better myself, what am I doing to better my situation. And I find it's quite cathartic sometimes. It actually is. It just makes me feel a little bit more humble in the fact that I'm wondering about all of these different things, and it gives me a little bit more perspective on certain things, being able to sit down and think about them. Now, I don't know how important your jobs are to you. My job is extremely important to me. It took me quite a while to get to the position that I'm in at the moment. And it's not a high ranking position, so to speak, but where I am mentally with work, where I am physically with work, where I am with myself and how I operate at work, I'm in a place where I feel good going to work. I'm in a place where I feel good how much I get paid from work. Brothers, I work 7 days a week. I've got two jobs. Yeah. But I'm still happy that every single day I woke up. I don't even have to wonder about how happy I am. As I've told you before, when people ask me at work, do you know what? My reaction is all the time. I neither have the time nor patience to be unhappy. I don't think about being unhappy unless there's a reason for me to wonder about that. Why am I thinking about being unhappy? What for? Who's that helping? Because it's not helping me. Me sitting down thinking to myself, oh, do you know what? If only I'd have done this, if only I'd have done that, and dwelling on those things, that's not helping me. These are the things that, these are some of the other things that you might think about. I think about them as well. Yeah, well, all the decisions that I've made up until this point in my life, best believe there's decisions that I'm not happy that I made. But at the same time, do you know what, bros? I sit down and I wonder to myself, D, could you have done better with that? There's times when I've sat down and I've thought to myself, oh, do you know what? Did you make the right decision? Did you make a wrong decision? How could you have done that? Why didn't you do that? You know, there's ample, ample amount of things that run through my head. I'm only human. I am a fallible being. I understand, or should I say, I overstand the fact that I make mistakes quite often, but I am willing to sit down and discuss with anybody that I cross what I may have done to upset them, because I'm willing to accept that, you know what, I might have been wrong with that, with what I did or what I said or how I acted. But when I sit down and I'm able to analyze my actions later on, this is why hindsight is a brilliant thing. I might say to myself, oh, you know what, you didn't have to do that. You didn't have to carry on, like, you didn't have to say that. You could have done this. You could have done that. But then, as I stated already, mulling over something that's already happened is not necessarily a great thing. It's already happened. Leave it. It's done. There's no point saying, oh, do you know what? Oh, I could have. I should have. Coulda, woulda, shoulda ain't helping no one. Least of all you. Acknowledge them. Yeah, definitely. Acknowledge them and understand that those are stepping stones to building a better you. Think about it like an experiment, yeah? You're a human being and you're living your life, Yeah. Nobody told you what to do. In order for you to understand who you are and how you operate, you have to do things that you do not know. What foods, activities, people you meet, these are all different interactions that we have, that we sit down and we think about daily. Now, subconsciously, you might not be thinking, should I say consciously, you might not be thinking about some things. Subconsciously, best believe your brain's doing a madness. Yeah. Some people are not told this, some people are told you need to address your demons. If you've got them, address them. Don't let them fester. I can speak on this from experience. I let mine sit down for a bit too long and they started to get the better of me. Now, I ain't letting that happen because I don't want that to happen. Why would I let that happen now? I'm past that stage. I'm good. As I said, I no longer have to worry about my job. I'm quite happy where I am. I used to work for agency when I was working construction doing painting and decorating. Yeah. From week to week, I never really knew where I was gonna be. Not unless I was contracted to be somewhere for a few weeks. Summertime, yeah, was one of the only times that I knew I would be working because I did my job well. So one of the agencies that I worked with every summer, they used to bring me in to go and work in the schools and repaint secondary schools, primary schools across London. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed moving around. But what I didn't enjoy was the uncertainty of work. So I made a decision for myself. Thinking about it over and over and over again, what can I do to make my situation better? How can I develop myself? You know what? I went and did something that I didn't know would help, but it was something that I hadn't done before. I used to be an extremely shy person. I used to wonder how I was going to get around it. I used to think to myself, why are you not like your friends? Because I'm not. I'm me. I'm fully aware of that now. But looking back on it, and I'm not saying dwelling, I'm saying looking back on it and taking all of that into consideration, it helped me where I am now. Because it helped me to be where I am now. Because putting myself in that situation and choosing construction, painting and decorating, making a conscious decision to be in an environment where I had to be around new people all the time is what got me out of my shell, so to speak. That's what they say. It get you out of your shell. And it did. It definitely did. Because after that I became somebody that, bro, you could put me anywhere. I talk to anyone. I talk to anyone. Just conversation is brilliant. That's all it is. Just being able to talk to somebody is dope. But being able to sit down and think about, or should I say, being able to sit down and not have to think about where my next job is coming from, absolutely brilliant. Best decision I ever made in my life. I can say that confidently now, having been in the same place for nearly 6 years. I am proud of myself for being able to sit down and question the quality of life I was giving myself and my family. I am proud of myself for sitting down and thinking through my decisions that I was making, how I was making them, what I was doing. And ultimately, it helped because now I'm no longer in the same position I was in. I'm in a better position. So I'm just trying to move on. I'm just trying to level up and keep leveling up. That's it. Ears is itching. I don't, bro. It's easy for me to sit down and be like, yeah, do you know what? I think about this and I think about that, but for me to admit the things that trouble me is hard for me to sit down and swallow when it's just me, you know. There's nobody else around, and just thinking about things, I'm like, I try to avoid certain things, and it's just me. I could be in an empty house, and it is me one at work. When it's me one, I'm still thinking about things that I'm like, just leave it. Who am I trying to hide from? Myself. I'm the only one that goes to sleep at night wondering about what I wonder about, you know? So, does it make sense that it bothers me? Yes, because it should bother me. It should bother me. I should feel like, oh, do you know what? I need to, excuse me, I need to get this out of my head. And sometimes that's all it is, you know? Sometimes you just need to think about something over and over again. And it's, all right, okay, cool. Yeah, it's done. Decisions have been made in your head that you haven't had to physically make. That's it. It's over. Sometimes just sitting down and thinking through something is the best thing to do. I don't know about you, man, but I know for a fact, I know for a fact, yeah, that when I sit down and I consciously make a decision to think about what I'm doing, 8 times out of 10, it turns out better than I expected it to. The other two is more borderline, okay, yeah, I can deal with that. I love being me because nobody else lives my life. Nobody else can. And the opportunities I have afforded myself have put me in the position I'm in today. The decisions I have made, whether good or bad, have put me in the position that I'm in. Now, me being able to sit down and have the foresight to think about the decisions that I've made and the decisions I will make is what I don't want to say sets me apart from other people, but it puts me in a different light where I'm able to consciously make decisions because I can question myself. And I say this to say it because you know it is really important. It I'm telling you, brothers, like some of you have no idea how important it is to actually just sit down and say, can I actually? Can I actually? It's hard for us to sit down and be like, oh, do you know what? I don't really want to. Do I have to? Sometimes it's necessary for us to run through our daily lives, what's going on, what's been going on throughout the week, different situations you're in. Don't sit down and just be like, ah, do you know what, bun that. I'm not even think about it. Think about it. Don't try and avoid certain things. As I said to you, I have physically tried to avoid thinking about certain things. My brothers, you know what? I'm not helping myself. Doing that is hindering myself. Yeah. I may as well just keep it 100 and be like, yo, D, you know what? Blah, blah, blah. And the funny thing is, right, this is going to sound mad as well, yeah? But I don't know if you, man, do this. I know I do it. I don't business if you know. I generally, yeah, sit down and would have a conversation with myself fundamentally because I'm not going to chat fart to myself. I'm going to be like, D, you're an idiot. You're a fool. Yeah? What you did, you shouldn't have done. I'll blatantly tell myself things like that. Sometimes I'll give myself reassurance. But it's just mulling over. It's just thinking about it. It's just being like, okay, yes, you know, I understand this. I understand that. I don't understand this. And sometimes you may come up with questions about the situation for yourself or for somebody else or for whatever reason that it may be that you just didn't think about before. I've done it countless times at work. People have done it to me. Oh, but I didn't think about that. Well, do you know what? That's why we're different individuals, because how you think is not how I think. So, what do you think about when you're on your own, dads? Like, what is it that gets this ticking? Because I know for a fact, I sit down and I watch videos on the internet and I wonder what I can pick out of them videos to put in content for you, man. I also know that I constantly think about when my sons are involved in different situations, when they're like my youngest today. He was pulled in, well, not pulled into work. He was asked to come into work. Not today. I believe that's tomorrow. He's supposed to be going in, and I'm like, oh, okay. I had to say to him, do you know what? I like the way you handled that, because it wasn't like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Do you know what? I'm gonna come in? He was like, oh yeah. Do you know what? Yeah, I can do that. I can respect that, because even though I know he wants to be at work more and more and more just to earn a little bit more change, he's not exactly. He's not showing work. Yeah, do you know? I'm desperate for it. No, 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 no. Hold something for yourself. Yeah, even if you are desperate. No, no, no. Do you know? Yeah, okay, I can do that. Yeah, because then at least they know that you're not always free. Yes, you can help. Yes, you're there if needs be. But no, man, I'm not relying. You don't have to rely on me like that. No, just be conscious about yourself. Be mindful about yourselves, my bros, because having the sense of thought to actually sit down and think about what you're doing will help you do more, because we're designed to help ourselves as well as help each other. And I've stated this so many times. My brother stated it to me countless times. If you do not help yourself, you are nowhere near a position to be helping other people. You cannot do that. So, bros, sit down and think about what you're doing. Help yourselves, help other people, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Sorry, hitting other stuff in it. Let me just move that out the way. Yeah, bros, you already know where it is. Yeah, podcast is available on all major platforms: Anchor.fm, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Google Play, and Spotify. Man can't even talk now. What's going on? You can also catch us on Instagram at future_fathers FF and Say Nate Official. We are live on YouTube as we are right now. Yes, yes, we are. Yeah, youtube.com/future fathers FF. Please, my brothers. Yeah, as I'm sure you can tell, I'm trying to keep these lives not too brash, because obviously, as I stated already, I'm just trying to fit in the new router inside the house, so my connection keeps dropping in and out, in and out. I don't know if you lot have had to refresh a good few times, but I'm still here. I'm still plodding on. I'm still trying to move forward, level up. My brothers, I hope you're trying to do the same thing. Think about what you're doing. Think about what you can do to make yourselves better. Think about what you can do to better yourselves and your surroundings, and help everyone else that's near you and around your life. My brothers, please. I've been D. This is the Future Fathers FF podcast. I beg you, stay well and stay blessed.